Hey everyone. So I am making my homemade Hawaiian sweet rolls because my daughter asked for them, and I thought it'd be fun to do a little tutorial and show you guys how I make these. I do have complex regional pain syndrome, so it does make it hard for me to cook at times. And I am in the middle of a flare-up right now, but I am not letting it stop me. So this is what my hands are looking like at the moment. It has definitely spread into my hands, although it is in my feet. It lives in my right foot, spread into my left. So I will show you how things are looking right now before we start this fun activity. They don't look bad at all. And the CRPS does live in this foot. It has spread though into my left. So this is how we're starting our day. And I will show you, I am wearing flip-flops right now, not wearing bare feet. Okay, so let's get started. This is actually not a very hard recipe at all. It's kind of my own recipe that I've morphed from recipes online. And I'm going to start by proofing my yeast. So I have a half a cup of water here, and it is basically at about 105, 110 degrees. You don't want it to go beyond about 120 because you'll kill the yeast otherwise. And I'm putting in 2¼ teaspoons of yeast. And this is essentially, if you buy the little packets in the store, that's a packet in the store. And so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to activate the yeast. And all you want to do is just kind of stir it up a little like this, and then you can just leave it and let it do its little thing here. Now, the other trick is you can add a little bit of sugar, which will also help to activate the yeast faster. So I'm going to do that as well. And I'm adding a teaspoon, and I want to keep track of the amount of sugar that I'm adding because I'm going to be adding 1/4 cup of sugar to this recipe. And what I really don't want to do is add too much sugar, so I'm not going to add, the full, basically 4 tablespoons would be 1/4 cup. So I'm going to do 3 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons instead of 3 because 3 teaspoons makes the tablespoon. Yeah. All right. So while that's proofing, I can go ahead and get my flour. Let me grab my cup measure. All right. And we're going to do about 3 cups of flour. And you can use whatever flour you want. I know there are some flour snobs amongst us who say you must use like King Arthur or, some of those rather expensive brands, but do whatever you can afford, whatever you want. You can even do some half wheat in here if you wanted to. I've done that before. It just adds a little bit of a different texture, which, if you like it, go for it. This is all about your own creativity. So now I need 1/4 cup of sugar. And as I mentioned before, I already put a teaspoon in. So I'm going to do 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. And then I'm just going to do 1 and 2. All right, there's that. And then let's see. I need my salt. All right. We are going to do, it's only a half, I'll do a little bit more than a half a teaspoon of salt, I think, but I would say close to about a half teaspoon of salt. All right. So that is my dry ingredients. Now we're going to add an egg at the end. We're also going to do some milk in here, and that's about it. So yeah, so we just need to wait for our yeast to proof. I almost forgot that I do like to add some butter. It adds a really nice richness to this recipe. So I have, looks like pretty close enough to about 1/4 cup of butter here. And so that's what I'm going to go ahead and add into this. And you can just kind of chop it up roughly. Nothing fancy here because it will actually melt down as you're working it all together. But again, this is optional. You can also even put some butter on top of your rolls, but I just really, really like the flavor and the richness and the butteriness that it adds to the actual dough. Okay, there we go. All right, we have some healthy growth to our yeast. So now we are ready to combine everything together. And I did also warm up my milk because, again, I want to keep everything similar temperature. So it's about the same 110 degrees or so. And I'm just using this to get any bits out here left over. And I do have this egg, but I'm going to wait to add this. I'm going to first do a quick hand mix. And you can do this with your KitchenAid, but I prefer to do this first part by hand. Helps me get a better gauge for if I need to add any more liquid, which looks like I do. Definitely need to add a little bit more liquid. So add a little bit more, which makes sense because I did do a full 3 cups of flour, and I do find you need a little bit more liquid in that case. So, okay, looking pretty good. Just want to get all my sides scraped up. This is hard. So I'm going to definitely let the mixer do the hard work now that I've got it ready. We can also add in our egg at this point. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so now let's switch our camera views and we'll go ahead and get this puppy mixed up. Now I am getting a break and letting the machine do the hard work. Okay. All right, so this is definitely an optional step. If you have your KitchenAid mixer, you can use it, let it do all the work for you. I do usually let it do most of the work, but for this particular recipe, as it gets to the end, I like to do it myself because it just doesn't quite get it where I want it. So this is an extra step. You don't have to do it, but I like to knead it myself. So this will hurt later for me. It is a bunch of physical work on my hands, but it's worth it. Whew. All right, that was not easy. My hands are definitely flared right now, but you know, we got through it. Let's see how my feet are doing. Look okay. They're getting a little bit red at the moment, but not too bad. All right, got to keep going. All right, so next up is we want to get the bread in here because it's going to need an hour to an hour and a half to rise. So I'm going to put it in here. And the trick on this is you want to flip it. Take it like that and flip it over. And then you can use a damp towel. I like to actually use a shower towel. This is how I like to do it, but you can do it however you want. And then you're going to put it in a cool, dark place. So I've had the light on in my oven for a little bit to warm it up just slightly. I'm going to turn it off now, though. And now we're going to let it rise for about an hour to an hour and a half until it doubles in size. So, all right, come back and join me for the next steps.